Thanks. It's great to be here today. We're super proud to be a sponsor. Tell you a little funny story before I start. David didn't tell the full story about how Vodafone engaged in our partnership model. I was having a wine with a colleague, as you do, and we saw him walking past, and he stopped and he had his first copy of the Silver Lining book that he had just got from the publisher, and sat down and joined us and said, "Do I have a deal for you? Let's look at what we can do together." And so here we are, and what a great range of speakers that we've had, and I'm privileged to talk to you about what we're doing at Vodafone and the journey that we went through. And I look after the business part of the Vodafone organisation, think of consumer business, and so B2B. And if you think about where we were prior to COVID, we were doing pretty well, right? As an overall country, as an economy, and certainly for Vodafone New Zealand. We had just been acquired by a New Zealand firm, Infratil, and a Canadian asset management organisation, Brookfield. And we were now considering ourselves predominantly New Zealand owned. And we had strong investors. We just rolled out 5G. We had upgraded and invested in our service support team. We had brought our business support team back from offshore into country, and we were continuing our broader mobile rollout across the country. We also saw some great innovation coming out from New Zealand businesses. We were transforming and helping them to invest in their organisation. And then, as we all know, everything started to come to a standstill. Now, for us, being telecommunication providers, connectivity is normally very, very important, but it certainly came to the forefront over the COVID period. We're well aware of the digital divide that we have within our country, and we looked at connectivity in two parts. We looked at the youth of New Zealand, and we started to consider how they would be able to connect into their schooling and into their other support mechanisms. We know that our tamariki around the country go to school not just for their learning needs, for their main meal of the day, for their social, and for their connected community across their environments. We've learnt from the US model that 20% of students in the US have lost all connectivity into their schooling environments. That's a whole generation that will miss their academic connectivity for a long period of time. And so we were committed to investing and making a change and make sure that we drive more connectivity across the country. And partnering with our government, with our Rural Broadband Initiative, we continue to invest in building our cell sites across the country. We continue to upgrade our cell sites around the country when we didn't get people trying to burn them down every now and then. It's great when 5G protesters burn down a 4G cell site. But we continue to work forward and push key connectivity across the country. So one, connecting and reducing that digital divide, and then also looking at how do we really enable businesses across the country to move forward through the restrictions that we had. And so this really starts to connect into the conversations that we've been having today around how companies started to look and innovate and transform through COVID and then throughout COVID. And there are a couple examples that I wanted to talk to you about. The first one was a lot of organisations reached out to us and said, "Gosh, I've got my contact centre staff have all gone home and I have no way to take all those calls." And so we rapidly supported organisations in moving their traditional on-premise contact centre into the cloud with solutions such as AWS Connect. Aotearoa is a great example. We moved their 140 contact centre staff online in one weekend. Tourism Holding Limited is another great example. Not only did they go through COVID, they then had a fire which burnt down their PABX, and we moved them into the cloud over the weekend. We got this great quote from them. It came back and it said, "You saved my ass from the fire," We're like, great, we'll find more customers like that. So changing the way we connect, change the way we're able to service customers through cloud-based solutions was really important. But not just connecting into teams who can work from home, but what you're doing is you're broadening out the ability to get a wider range of staff members across the country and extending your talent pool. So you don't have to have contact centre staff that sit in Auckland, Wellington or Christchurch anymore. They can sit anywhere across the country and connect in, and so bring the broader range of talent to bear across the country. We also saw a lot of texting. Texting's back. Texting's the new back. 300% increase in texting over this period. Because what our customers are trying to figure out is how do you start engaging with your customers, your consumers, in a contactless environment. And so texting to confirm orders, texting to communicate out. Sal's Pizza is a great example of that. They used our texting solution to confirm when orders were ready. Les Mills used texting over lockdown to connect with their teams. And so we continue to see innovation coming through. And how do we plumb in that innovation and really help our customers move forward? Now, that was only one part of it. The other part that really came true for us was this concept of compassion and compassionate leadership. And Craig spoke about empathetic leadership. Empathetic leadership is really important, but compassion is just as important. Understanding the situation of where your staff member or your customer is at any point of time will help you service them better. I say to my teams, you have to understand where someone comes from, where their pain points are, before you can help them move forward. And so compassionate leadership came to the forefront for us as we went through the COVID period. We knew that we had to provide extended services to our customers who were having a lot of challenges over this period. And you can imagine the industries, travel, tourism, etc. And we offered discounts and extended payment terms. We committed to terminating no customers. We provided unlimited data and extended payment terms for anyone that needed it. But not only that, we really started to lead with messaging of caring and compassion. And we started with our tagline of stay safe. We then moved to stay kind. And as you may have read in the news, it's Aotearoa. And so those are some examples of our leadership. We're also strongly committed to partnering with our Vodafone Foundation. Our Vodafone Foundation core goal across the country is to reduce the number of disadvantaged youth within New Zealand. We invested over 200,000 into our community, emergency services, etc. They also partnered with us on the digital divide challenge that we had. We also did some really fun things, like we have a Vodafone Dream Life app, and when you go to sleep at night, if you plug your phone in and turn on that app, we're able to gauge all of our mobile phones connected into this concept of a supercomputer. And that supercomputer was focused on finding a vaccine for the COVID-19 virus. We also started to think about how else can we support and engage our customers in other ways. So how do we uplift? How do we start to make our customers feel good? And so with Live Nation, we created these jam lounges, and there's an example of it in the book. And so this concept of connecting in a human way was really critical for us. We reached out, as I said, to these organisations and offered them some additional support. The feedback I had from one organisation, he said to me, Lindsay, you came to me when I didn't ask, but you came to me when I needed help the most. And that's what transforms into true partnership for us as an organisation moving forward. And so as you think about moving forward, we've certainly changed from where we were to where we are now. I'm sure for all of you, our offices are half empty. So this concept of working from home has really become true. We've enabled all of our staff to work from home, to work remotely. We've increased security. We've driven home greater productivity needs. We're seeing contactless engagement through consulting, doctors consulting. We're seeing gym classes moving online. And so at Vodafone, we thought, what does this mean? How do we start connecting with our audience to start talking about this ability to work from anywhere? And so we launched this concept of working free range. Work from anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. Just stay connected, stay productive, and we'll help you through it. And I hope you've seen some of our free range working out there. Business suits, pajamas, yoga pants. Who's done that on conference calls? And it's not only is it great for us as a company, but it's great for the team. I know that we felt a lot more connected when we saw everyone's face on a Teams call versus some online and some in a meeting room. And it does start to connect. And you've learnt to be a lot more inclusive of your fellow colleagues when they're online. And in fact, it supports the bottom line. We know that it costs organisations 40% less from an OPEX perspective if you have flexibility within your workforce. We also know that it improves customer engagement, this concept of being available anytime, connect with me, we can do a Teams call, we can chat. This ongoing availability for customers has improved our response rate as they need it. And our studies show that it has increased flexible working, or this ability to free range and work from anywhere, has increased talent retention by 100%. 100%. So as organisations start to think about their way forward and how do I get talent and retain talent, which we know is a critical challenge for us across the country, flexible working, or free range working, as we like to call it, is something we all need to lean into. And again, it drives business continuity. Who knows how many more lockdowns we'll all go in and out of, but the ability to keep working throughout those lockdowns are important. I spoke to one of my team members, and he said to me, we sign a Microsoft Teams and an AWS Connect contract every single day. Every single day. We're seeing thousands of organisations across the country move to cloud-based solutions because they know they have to. Because we have to think about what could come and maintain this concept of continuity. And in fact, it's great for the planet, right? How many people are taking less flights, driving fewer times into the office, and overall supporting us? And so these concepts continue to hold true for us as we look at our business moving forward. But don't just take it from me. Let's listen to the Warriors.
For a business that's currently split across two countries, free range working gives us the ability to bridge the gap. It's almost as like we're in the same room. I'm Glenn Harris. I'm the General Manager of Marketing and Business Development with the Vodafone Warriors. I guess being a sports organisation in the current environment we're in, the biggest challenge is having our competition split over two locations, one here and one in Australia. And traditionally that's meant some disruption in communication, but in recent times we've seen the emergence of some phenomenal tools which allow us to be always on and very much have that free range working environment where we can stay connected with each other, stay connected with our fans at any time of the day or night. We're not a Monday to Friday 9 to 5 organisation, we are Monday to Sunday 24/7, 365. So free range working for us is just the way we do business. We can have a Vodafone Teams Connect session where we can have football, high performance, marketing, comms, membership, commercial, executive, and even our owners all on one call, all hearing information and the same information at the same time. So free range working has really allowed us to seamlessly connect lots of different moving parts in our business really easily with technology. It also allows us the flexibility to define working environments based on our employees' needs. So to be able to figure out the right level of productivity and efficiency that works around their life as well. Having the knowledge that Vodafone and their expertise in technology delivery and bringing together what it actually means to work free range gives us so much more confidence and so much more determination as we challenge to win the biggest prize of them all in our sport.
What a great story. We're really proud to have 56% of New Zealand businesses on our mobile network, and thank you for your support. I look forward to listening to the rest of the amazing stories that we have here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lindsay. We do have a couple of questions that have come in from Slido, and both are really, really good points. So the first question that came in was about cost. With so many of us working from home, a lot of the business costs have moved to our home, where we're now using our home internet and our solutions. Have you seen solutions where businesses are now helping to fund those, or is it usually on the employer to pay for their own home systems?
Yeah, I mean, I think I obviously can't speak for all of your employers, but what I would say is you're seeing the market trend shift, where we're providing a lot of unlimited or endless data concepts out into the market, and so at a lot more affordable prices than what they were a few years ago. So the availability to have endless on your mobile phone or endless on your broadband are available. We are seeing organisations provide funding for employees to claim back their broadband if they're able to do flexible working. Obviously, it depends on those organisations.
And the second question that's come in is, you talked about, an app where you can sort of take care of your employees and sort of check in with them. Lots of us own small businesses and we can't afford to make our own app. So does Vodafone share some of these tools? Can we steal them from you?
Yeah, absolutely. So the V-Life app, or the Vodafone Life app, is available to be white labelled. It's come so far from where it was when we started in lockdown. In lockdown, it was checking on people and sharing communications with them. We still use it every day. Our teams check in before they walk into the building. They check into a meeting room. They check into a desk. They're also able to book a car park and order coffee and all of those other things. We're able to send notifications of live stream events that we have across our team, and constant messaging around different alert levels or different challenges, elevators broken, all of those types of things. We are talking to universities, for example. How do they communicate out to all of their students if there was an unfortunate event on campus? Those types of solutions are available now, and you can absolutely white label them, and we have customers doing that today.
Amazing, thank you. Now, Lindsay, before you go, Vodafone has sponsored a competition, and we're about to do a competition where there are prizes to win. So I just want you to mentally prepare yourself, because some of those will require you to shout out your answers. So get ready. In the meantime, Lindsay, thank you so much for everything. Great.